most of the composition in, some of the larger shapes and the darks laid in. What we'll do from here on out is working on detail. Hey everybody, wildlife artist Ryan Kirby here in my studio, and today we're gonna paint an owl. So I've got seaweed coming up and I need some smaller originals, some things I can knock out fairly quick in one session. So we're gonna do that today in my studio, and we thought we'd bring you along for the ride here. Owls are a cool, really cool species. I don't paint them very often. Obviously they play a role in turkey hunting, so I love owls in the spring. But today we're gonna do this 9x12 canvas. I'm gonna start with a rough sketch with a pencil, hit it with some fixative, and go from there. So I've got my palette here, and I keep relatively the same order in my palette all the time. So I know where things are and kind of get into a groove. The first thing I'm gonna do is mix my colors. And what I try to do is pre-mix all of the colors that I'm gonna use on a smaller canvas like this. That way I can have a basic outline of where I'm going color-wise with my palette, and I don't have to waste a lot of time mixing paint. I just set my playbook and then go from there. So I've got my palette pretty close to where I want it. And now what I'm just gonna do a very loose sketch. Not gonna get too super detailed on this, but I wanna have an idea of positioning and composition before I go to paint. So I've got my initial sketch in. As you can see, it's really loose. It's just mainly to get positioning. What I'll do is I'll take a mixture of burnt umber and cool that off with Terra Verde, and then some ultramarine blue, and I'll just do kind of a wash of color over this. I just want to get some color down on the canvas first and set kind of a mid-range background color, and then we'll lay the darks on and we'll go right to color. So at this point, I've got, most of the composition in, some of the larger shapes and the darks laid in. What we'll do from here on out is working on detail. I've actually saved the eyes for this point because I want to get the rest of the painting going first. A lot of people start with the eyes first. I used to do that, but now I tend to wait a little bit till I get most of the painting off the ground. But the eyes are going to carry the piece on this one, obviously. And then we're going to have less and less detail as we go away from the head. So we'll keep cranking. towards the end of the process, I always take the piece and put it in a frame that's, if it's not the frame I want, it's something similar, so I can have an idea of what it'll look like when it's in the frame. I'll also take some of the colors of the frame and add little bitty pops into it to kind of unify it with it. So overall, this one looks good. I've got to work on some highlights a little bit more, but for the most part, this was done, ready to go. Check out more of my work at ryankirby.com and come see us in Charleston for the Southeastern Wildlife Expo, usually in February every year. Great show, and that's where this one will be.